is facts and facts only. I would have wanted to ask you what a motion is, but you're a second-time MCA. So I can ask you, other than this motion, have you brought to the Meru County Assembly any other motion of whatever nature since you are elected?
Yes, I've brought many motions to the County Assembly.
You can mention two or
yes.
one?
I've brought a motion seeking to revise, actually it went through to revise the finance laws that were guiding the county, that is in the previous County Assembly. I have brought a motion to the County Assembly seeking to lower the money that youth were being charged to have their businesses trained with the county. That is, young people are supposed to pay money so that their companies can be allowed to get tenders from the county.
Okay.
That is in the previous County Assembly, not this one.
I was talking about this one.
Oh, this was my first motion.
So your first motion is to remove somebody from office. Is the motion passed at the Assembly or in the public?
The motion is passed in the Assembly.
In the Assembly?
Yes.
From the document I've seen,
yes,
I've seen members of the public supporting your motion in the purported public participation. So would you say the members are supporting the motion, or they were supposed to bring the memoranda of any kind in support of the removal of the governor, other than supporting whatever you have already drafted?
The members of the public are not bound to anything. That's why it's called public participation. Someone will wake up to their house, from their house, and come and say what they feel. You are not supposed to dictate to them what they should say. There is no textbook or any law that prescribes what the members of the public come to do or come to say, how they should say it. You give them the forum. They can even talk about matters that are not being discussed there, and give their memoranda and go.
But from the documents that you have, most letters are saying we are supporting the motion by Honorable DMK. So you are executing your motion to the public.
The advert that went to the newspapers is there is a motion in the Assembly that you're supposed to react to. So it's not wrong for a member of the public to say, I am supporting that motion that is under this public participation because of 1, 2, 3 reasons. Maybe the reasons that I have given that they think this is not what government should be doing, or reasons that they themselves feel are not even part of this motion but are impeachable. So you cannot dictate to the members of the public what to say and what to write.
Chairman, I think it's good for this committee to note that that is tantamount to having a local referendum. This document that have been presented to us, which is true, is given by the County Government Act, Section 90, but need to be carried out by IEBC. Another question is, it was said here that the 67 MCAs cannot be wrong, right?
Yes.
They cannot be wrong. But you also know that mob justice is illegal?
I don't think MCAs are a mob. They are elected representatives of people.
To avoid being accused of calling them mob, that's why I'm asking for this kind of evidence. We have agreed here that other than the video evidence that you give here to this committee, video evidence, there is no other document purporting the hiring of those roadside declaration, the pay slips, letter of appointments. So we agree your evidence is only based on video evidence.
No, my evidence is there to support the post that the governor wrote, doing some of the appointments via Facebook. Then there are the videos. There is the signed affidavit about the sourcing of the evidence that I brought to this very house. Then when, yes, there is also evidence from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission that is supposed to enforce Chapter 6 of the Constitution. I don't think a CEO of the EACC that has been mandated by the Constitution to look at breaches of Chapter 6 can sit down and write something on EACC. So we also relied on that letter as evidence.
The letter that was talking about allegations. I'm a Catholic. Are you a Catholic?
Yes, I am.
And you know, we do have liturgical colors.
Yes, we do.
It is mentioned here that the issue of red, and I wish this issue was not here because I wouldn't want to discuss my church. But you know, red is a symbol of passion. It is only worn in church when we are celebrating martyrs. Those people who have been prosecuted without committing crime.
Yes.
So could we say that you misinterpreted the colors to mean something different?
The church was being prosecuted by the governor for committing no wrongs.
Okay. Finally, Mr. Chairman, we need to bring in the role of a speaker. Do you know the role of a speaker?
Yes.
Of the assembly.
Yes.
He's supposed to be impartial.
Yes.
It has been mentioned here that he himself has been saying, or is quoted in media, saying that the governor must go.
Has that evidence been adduced here?
It was mentioned here on the meeting of 18th.
I can regard that as hearsay because I never saw any evidence of the speaker saying those words.
Okay. Do you know that a government entity with the right legal framework can collect money and spend at source? For example, the water companies. So do you know with that they can spend money at the source, even hospitals?
Hospitals?
Yeah.
But what does the Constitution say
No, I'm
about
saying with the right framework.
with the right legal framework here?
Yes. Do you know
Yes.
that can happen?
Yes, yes.
So has the County Assembly of Meru tried to pass such a law?
No.
They haven't.
Yeah.
That's all, Chairman.
Thank you, Senator for Kiambu. We now listen to the Senator of Machakos.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to follow up with what Senator of Kiambu has just asked about the red attire in the church. If I say that the governor was responding or responding to the video that I've seen here, saying that they are wearing the red attire and they are going to pray bad prayers for her, will I be right?
You'll be right.
I'll be right.
Yes.
She was responding to what they were saying. Two, if I may ask you, because you said demons are only cast in churches and in crusades, your own words. Where is it maybe written in the Bible or anywhere we can refer to that one can only cast demons in church or in crusades?
In this motion, there is nowhere we have mentioned governor was casting out demons.
No, somebody asked that question and then you answered.
It's the practice that I've always seen from evangelicals. I'm not one.
It's only what you have seen people do.
Yes.
There is nowhere written that you cannot cast out demons in any forum.
What are demons?
Well, you mentioned it yourself.
Order, again.
I'm only questioning you about what you said in this forum.
Okay.
So you should tell me what are demons. Because you said it, and you say they can only be casted out in church or in crusades.
I said that there is a setting for church services that includes praying for those who are demon possessed, according to what I've seen in practice. And that was not the case in the motion. There was no demons that were being cast, or someone being told, come here, we cast out your demons. I've not seen that anywhere.
That's what you said, and I just wanted you to clarify or substantiate.
Yes.
If it is true, those demons can only be cast out in church or in crusades or anywhere else.
Whether
they can only be cast out in church or on crusades.
In my understanding, yes.
In your understanding?
Yes.
I can say that you are wrong because a prayer can be made anywhere, even here in this forum. A prayer can be made. Okay? Then
There's a difference between prayer and casting out demons.
this video, yeah, a prayer, you can pray and you can cast out demons as you pray. You can. It is possible.
Yes, Honorable Senator, I'm lost.
Yeah, because what you don't know, don't indulge into it because it will cause you problems. So one, the governor was responding in that clip to the sayings of that they are wearing red and the prayers that they can pray against her can harm her. So according to me and according to the video, she was responding to those, but those were not her words. She was only responding. Two, the 10 million for Ward Development Fund that you talked about, was it executed and given to the MCAs, and did they implement any projects in their wards, the 45 wards, before coming to demand for more? Are those 10 millions over already?
Thank you, Senator. At no point did I talk about Ward Fund. The entire period that I've been here, I never mentioned it anywhere. It's not in my affidavit. Ward Fund does not exist. And it's counsel for the governor who mentioned it during the day I was following on TV and saying that the governor has disbursed 10 million to MCAs, and there's nothing like that I've done. And if the governor does that, it's illegal.
Well, there's somewhere we read about that, and it was, I think your counsel was guiding and asking question about the 10 million and the Ward Development Fund, and that the MCAs differed with the
it's
governor.
The governor's council who was saying, who had indicated that the governor has released money to these people, 10 million per ward, and the dispute is they are coming for more, so that it gets to 20 or 25. Those were his exact words, because I was following, and there is nothing like that anywhere.
Okay.
And Ward Fund is not a contest before this house.
Okay, all right then. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Roba.
Thank you very much, Chair. Just in the process of questioning, there is one issue that was mentioned, and for the record, it was inappropriately captured. The issue of whether the governor has a leeway to decide whether he can operate with 5 CEC, 6, 7, or 10. Article 179(3) it states that the structure or the number is 1/3 of the MCAs, total number of MCAs, up to maximum of 10. And as such, there is no leeway. It's not discretionary. That is just for the record. Now, my question, and I will go straight. Allegation E, misconduct relating to nomination of county executive committee members. And of particular interest to me is this is, impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the governor of, Meru County. And as such, every allegation that has been leveled, the committee and this house must be able to make sure that every information in it is gotten with clarity. And as it relates to E of that misconduct, reorganizing her government to 6 departments and 3 CEC members after the rejection of some nominees instead of submitting names of other candidates to the county assembly for approval. Now, before I go to the question, for purpose of just clarity, because I just want yes or no at the end. Article 179(1) and 2 says the executive authority of the county is vested in and exercised by the county executive committee. The county executive committee consists of the county governor and the deputy governor. That is in as far as Article 179(2). Then the County Government Act, Section 30, which Senator Sifuna talked about, and is of particular interest to me 30E, which is 30 deals with the functions and responsibilities of a county governor. E of 30 says constitute the county executive committee portfolio structure to respond to the functions and competencies assigned to and transferred to each county. Then when we go further to, when read together with Section 46 of the County Government Act, A, B, and C, that is 1A, B, and C, which states, for the record, the County Executive Committee shall determine the organization of the county and its various departments, and for that purpose may establish, continue, or vary any department, and determine the object and purpose of the department. Determine the number and nature of departments or at that decentralized unit. Abolish any department, or determine or change the name of any department. Now, number 2 of the same E says the executive committee shall take into account and be guided as needed to organize its department and other structures in a flexible way in order to respond to the changing priorities and circumstances. Now, I will come to the question. That has been listed as an allegation. Is it the governor exercising constitutional mandate and legal mandate has given, looking at the circumstance that she has a county government to run and the executives have been rejected and she has 3. So, legally speaking, what do you find wrong in the actions of the governor in assigning more departments with the number of the CECs that has been approved or she's left with, if this is the provision of the law? Over to you, and that's my only question.
Yes. The governor is within a mandate, according to the Constitution and the County Governments Act, to reorganize the departments to be suitable to what she feels, what she wants, and how she wants to execute our government, which she did. She did exactly that, came up with 10 departments and appointed 10 CECs and brought them to the assembly. Now, there is a County Government Approval Act that directs what happens in the approval process of appointees of the governor. Then the governor she should have reorganized them to 6 and appointed 6 CECs.
Just because I've read and belabored in going through all these sections of the law for purposes of, and I've taken this because you're second-term MCA, you know, you've been there before. The question becomes, the County Assembly has rejected 7, approved 3. Okay?
Yes.
How do you propose for the governor to run the functions of the county government for which he is legally mandated under the circumstance and, you know, in accordance with priorities and circumstances, which gives her, the law gives her the legal mandate? What do you find wrong? Because you've cited that as an allegation against the governor for, you know, just executing her mandate within the law.
Honorable Senator, through the chair, would I be allowed to, I would like to seek your permission, Mr. Chairman, to see whether I can ask a question to the Senator regarding the same.
Very well. You will not do that.
He will answer, then ask if he wishes.
Okay.
No, the
chairman has directed. Yes.
The chair has refused.
Thank you.
We shall not change the process.
Thank you.
Otherwise, a high court, one of you might go to court if
Yes.
you will not be satisfied
Yes.
with what we have done today.
Yes.
And if the process is found faulty,
Yes.
that'll be it. We will have wasted time.
Yes.
So you will not ask a question at this stage. Yes,
Yes, so
Senator,
my
yes.
issue would have been with the County Government Approval Act that provides for what happens when the names are rejected. Is it a law that should have been followed? Yes, I would answer that the law should be followed when she is supposed to reorganize the government, that is simply by looking at the reasons for rejection and not going to a rally, verifying the rejection and saying those MCAs, like she has done in those videos, acted in bad faith. These were good people. She should have looked at the reasons for rejection, just like Parliament rejects some names. I don't expect the President to go verify in Parliament.
Mheshimiwa, I'm avoiding a statement of premeditated commitment of the execution of the governor before, because the processes of the law does not assume there will be vacuum anywhere. Okay? The circumstances within which the governor operated,
Yes.
under the circumstance.
Yes.
Because the only thing
The circumstances.
by what you are trying to justify is your expectation as an assembly, because you've rejected 7, is that the governor should have been grounded completely.
No.
Whereas the law and the sections I've read allows the governor legally to execute that mandate within the law, as she sorts out the other issues that you're mentioning of going back, identifying other CECs, resubmitting, or resubmitting with reasons if the assembly has given her reasons for rejecting, which is able to be addressed by the governor.
The county government, the County Assembly's Approval Act has told the governor what to do so that there is no vacancy, like you are alluding, Honorable Senator, that she should seek fresh names or even bring those names if the circumstances have changed.
Okay,
So,
Chair.
Unless you say that this law is invalid.
Mheshimiwa, asante, I'm finished, Honorable Senator.
Thank you, witness. Take no offense. This will help you going forward.
Thank you.
Senator Folam.
Thank you, Chair. My questions will be very brief. I just want to know, in your own opinion, if someone appoints a spouse in a volunteer position, would that be nepotism?
Depends on the nature of the volunteerism. It depends on what they're appointing them to do.
Okay. Question number 2.
Can be nepotism if they were appointing them in a nepotistic way.
Sorry, I've not understood.
I'm saying you have asked me whether it can be regarded as nepotism. I'm saying it depends on the nature of appointment. So if it was nepotistic, whereby the spouse is given, where there is a competition somewhere and the spouse has entered the competition, where the governor has powers to decide who gets what and gives the spouse, that could be nepotism. So I'm addressing myself to the circumstances of this appointment, whereby the governor expressly appoints the spouse to an inexistent office.
Question number 2. Is there any position that Her Excellency the Governor created in total disregard of the Public Service Board?
Is there what?
Is there any position that Her Excellency the Governor created and drew public funds in total disregard of Public Service Board?
The governor created the positions that she appointed the person of the husband to, but I'm not aware of any funds. Like she said herself, the position is not supposed to be remunerated, but it's not about remuneration like I've indicated before.
Question number 3. Why do you think that it was very important or it was necessary for the governor to forward the name of the husband for approval, or rather for the vetting and subsequent approval to a position that seemed to suggest that it was a volunteer position?
If you look at the positions that were created by the County Governments Act, the positions of the board to the Meru Youth Service, all those appointees are supposed to be submitted to the Assembly for vetting and approval. Now that she has created an office and appointed somebody, she needs to follow the procedure and bring this person. Then that way we could also be able to look at the law where it is instead of filling the office directly. Most of the offices of boards, like this one is a patron of a board, are supposed to be brought to the assembly for vetting.
Thank you, Kamau. Senator Wakenyori.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Kiogora, in the spirit of comradeship, because I know you are a student leader like me, allow me to ask you a few questions to guide this committee in providing sound and good decisions to the people of Meru. One, what's your opinion in the duty, if any, of a first gentleman? And is he expected to shy away from any duties at all? Maybe and if you reason with me, maybe the governor was just complimenting her husband. You know, you can call your spouse darling, honey. Maybe she was calling him in the patron of Meru Youth to allude to his youthfulness, or the ambassador of hustlers at least to show his hustler credentials. So would you therefore say that the governor's spouse is bound by Article 10 of the Constitution regarding national values and principles of a public officer? Yes, Honorable Kiogora. That's my first question.
Yeah, I would not support your thinking, Honorable Senator, that this might have been done because of love. You can easily kill someone because you have found them with someone that you love. And you say, I did it because of love. Does that mean that the judge is going to forgive you because you did it out of love? You're going to be jailed for manslaughter if you did it out of passion. Now, if the governor was breaking laws out of excitement, out of love for the husband to give him various portfolios in the government without following the due process, then that is very unfortunate. And I don't think the other 46 governors of this country are unromantic so as to appoint their spouses to county offices by creating offices for them. In fact, we have 6 other female governors. Do you want to tell me they don't love their husbands?
My second question, can you confidentially, in confidentiality or confidently confirm that any of the roadside appointees are currently holding appointment letters?
I cannot confirm that.
My third question and last one, can you tell this committee that the motion of impeachment is not fueled by personal vendetta because the members had hardly known each other? Yeah.
Yes, the motion could not have been fueled by personal vendetta, either from the mover myself or from the members. Because on August 9, 2022, only 9 members out of 45 were re-elected. So there is no way these other people who have come in as new could have been having any vendetta with the new governor because they are new. Out of 23 female MCAs in the county assembly, all of whom approved this impeachment motion, only 5 were renominated. All the other female MCAs are new. So it cannot be a personal vendetta from them. It can also not be a personal vendetta against me because I have to adduce evidence to whatever I'm bringing to the county assembly, and there are safeguards, constitutional safeguards against personal vendetta and politically motivated impeachment, whereby the Senate itself is sitting here as a neutral arbiter today to hold a trial for the governor. So there is no way I could have brought myself here without knowing that laws have been broken, the office of the governor has been abused. So it can't be personal vendetta that the governor committed all this wrong. And don't think there is anything personal in this motion. Chair. And there are safeguards to that.
Point of order, Chair. The witness has severally referred to the female MCAs. And I do not understand particularly why he would want to box the governor to the female corner. I mean, is there something very particular about the female MCAs?
No, there's nothing. I was giving data of the nominated MCAs who came back, either by election or by nomination, to say that these people could not have ganged up to have a personal problem with the governor because only 5 were nominated, and then the most, other than one woman who was elected, 44 out of 45 are men.
It's not the first time
the question was about vendetta from the MC, so I was trying to demonstrate that, Honorable Senator.
Chair, I would want him not to pursue the gender card because we have deliberately avoided the gender issue. Otherwise, we would then say she's being persecuted because she's female.
It is so directed.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Thank you, witness. You've done very well. We are about to go through. Senator for Migori.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, DMK, for the time and the insights provided to this committee. I want to quickly address myself to about 3 issues. The first one is the allegation number 4, which is mostly on the PFM Act and the violations thereof, therefore, which are predominantly based on Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital. The PFM Act is anchored mostly in the Constitution under Article 207, and I'm going to only read one for you because it's a very serious allegation. The Article 207, Subarticle 1, says there shall be established a revenue fund for each county government, into which shall be paid all money raised or received by or on behalf of the county government, except, and I want to underline that word, except money reasonably excluded by an act of parliament. Section 109 of the PFM Act, and I'm only going to focus on subsection 2B. Subsection 2 says, the county treasury for each county government shall ensure that all money raised or received by or on behalf of the county government is paid into the county revenue fund, except money, and that's why I'm going to B, that may, in accordance with other legislation, this act or county legislation be retained by the county government entity which received it for the purposes of defraying its expenses. Honorable DMK, my question is, can you confirm absolutely for the record that there is no county legislation that allows for retention of funds by the Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital?
There is none.
There's none. Can you also confirm or share with this committee if there is any bill or any proposed laws under the County Assembly of Meru on this matter?
There's none.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. My second question will be on public participation, and it's a question with options. Who carried out public participation, in your view, in the Assembly with regard to the motion that is here? Option A, members of the County Assembly of Meru. Option B, a committee of the County Assembly of Meru. Option C, a single member of the County Assembly of Meru. And option D, a staff of the County Assembly of Meru.
I don't think any of your suggested answers applies here, because the public participation was carried out by the County Assembly here. So it cannot be a staff, because
it was carried by
the County Assembly of Meru.
By the County Assembly of Meru.
Yes, because it's the one, it's the clerk who had advertised actually the public participation, and then it's the staff who are there in numbers, because one staff could not have done it.
Oh, you've answered.
Yes.
You've answered, don't worry.
Yes.
I get you, my friend.
Yes.
Do you find it concerning in your own way for you having signed the public participation document?
I don't find it concerning.
Okay. Last question to you, my friend. There was a meeting that was carried by the MCAs, of course, together with the Speaker on 18th of October. You remember that meeting? Prior to the address?
Yes, I remember.
You remember that meeting?
Yes,
You attended the meeting.
I did.
You said in this committee that you were not sure about what was said in the meeting because you were
Not
sitting
the
at
meeting.
back. Yes.
The questions were regarding a press conference that was done after that meeting outside.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which is
after that
basically
meeting, members
sharing
walked out and the press was waiting.
Okay.
So there are members there who went to speak to the press, and I was
So-
not one of them.
That's fine. So you are not sure of what was contained in the press statement.
No.
You're not sure.
Yeah.
Last question is, with regards to that meeting, before you attended, were you aware of the purpose of the meeting?
Yes, I was.
What was the purpose of the meeting?
The meeting was held in the chamber. It was Akamukunji, and it was to discuss the circumstances under which the governor was coming to address, ranging from a debate where the governor had appeared in the popular talk show in Muga FM that morning.
Thank you.
That is why the Kamukunji was called, where the governor said she will go to that assembly whether they want it or not. So
Thank you.
that Kamukunji was called urgently so that the members can decipher what the governor had said in the radio.
Thank you. And since the meeting, or rather since the press conference after the meeting, up to date, have you interacted with the press conference
Myself?
statement?
Yes, I
right.
have.
Was the content of the press conference similar to your expectation of the agenda before you attended the meeting, in your understanding now?
No.
Okay, thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you. Before we migrate to the next point, I'll allow Senator Thangwa who has something just to wrap up.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair, for this opportunity. It is on a question that I asked, and the same question has been asked by Senator for Migori, Senator Eddy, on the issue of whether there is a legal framework that allows the Meru County Referral Hospital to spend money at source. Mr. Speaker, there is an act, and it is called Meru County Teaching and Referral Hospital Board. A board is established, and if I can read to you section 14 of that act, it says, after a board is established, the board will have funds, and the funds of the board shall comprise such monies as may be appropriated by the county assembly. So the county assembly put the money into that fund. Such sums as may be realized from the board's business. So that is the amount that they charge at the hospital. Monies earned or arising from any investment of the funds. Such grants or transfers as may be received from the national government. Grants and donations received from any other lawful source. Such monies received as user charges, fees payable, or insurance. And Mr. Chair, the board has a director and they have a CEO who at least 3 months before the commencement of each year, financial year, the board shall cause to be prepared estimates of the revenue and the expenditure of the hospital for that year. So maybe we go back to the witness, Honorable DMK. Are you aware of that act?
I'm aware now of the act, but it does still not permit for monies obtained to be retained and spent at source. Actually, I've been listening to what you have reading, Honorable Senator, whereby they have to prepare a budget, the money has to be appropriated by the assembly, and sources are from business that they can do as a hospital, And you cannot say that the money that is charged from patients is part of the business of the board. The board is a board corporate that is allowed to do its own business.
Let me read for you section 14.3. The board shall open, and remember you said there was no such act, right? You were not aware.
I'm not aware.
You are not aware.
Yeah.
I'm informing you about the Meru affairs. The board shall open and operate bank accounts into which monies received shall be paid solely for the purpose of managing and administering the funds received. So that means what the governor was saying, that when they're managing the affairs of the county, of the hospital, the law itself permits that.
Remember what the governor was telling them to use the funds that they remit to the revenue fund. The fact that she was telling them to retain.
Order.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
We will not proceed with the altercations. You started by saying that you are not aware, and now the law has been brought to your attention. You've put your case. The senators will use what you said and weigh it against the provisions of the act by the County Assembly of Meru.
Point of information, Chair,
Yes.
with your permission.
1 minute, please. Yes, I think, point of information?
Yes, Honorable
You
Chair.
want to inform who?
I want to inform the House that
Okay.
indeed we have annexed.
You want to bring it to the attention of the House?
Yes, on the question on the
Okay.
floor.
The House is very informed.
Thank you,
Yes,
Chair.
yes.
We want to confirm to the House that we have annexed that particular act that the Honorable Senator is talking about. It is appearing at page 161 of volume 2 of our bundle of documents. That act is in existence. It has been supplied to the House and to the County Assembly. Thank you.
County Assembly Attorney?
Chair, we also wish to inform you by section 14.4 of that same act as annexed. It says the revenues of that board of the Meru Level 5 Hospital shall be spent in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act.
Very well. So, I want now to request with thanks and congratulations, our witness to step down from the witness stand.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Yeah. It's been a very long afternoon, but that's how justice goes. Next witness.
Our next witness is Lucy Mukarie. She will be examined in chief by my learned friend, Mr. Eric Muriuki.
You sacrificed her time for the sake of the star witness.
We are guided, Chair.
how much time would you like us to give you?
Mr. Muriuki tells me he should take no more than 20 to 30 minutes with this witness.
The way we agreed. It will be 12 minutes because there is 40 minutes to share. So that is 12. See how best you can do it, Council.
Yes, Honorable Chair of the Special
Just hold. Let the witness take oath.
Would you like to affirm or take an oath?
I can take an oath.
Take an oath.
Yeah. I, Lucy McKenna Mukaria, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Slight improvement. 13 minutes, not 12. 13.
Yes, Honorable Chair of this special committee, Senator Dr. Boni Khalwale, honorable members of the House, my name is Eric Muriuki. I am an advocate and I will be conducting the examination of our second witness. So, kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
Thank you very much, Council, Honorable Chair, Honorable Senators. My name is Lucy McKenna Mukaria. I am a nominated member of the Meru County Assembly, where I am nominated and I'm serving my second term as a nominated member. Honorable Chair.
Nominated by what party?
I am nominated by DEP party, popularly known as BAS. Honorable Chair.
Yes, through the chair, how long have you served as a member of the County Assembly of Meru?
Honorable Chair, I have served, I'm serving my second term as a first loaded two. I first came to the County Assembly in the elections of the year 2017. But before then, I had served as a councillor, a nominated councillor in the de facto county councils, where I served in the Meru Municipal Council. Honorable Chair.
Are you familiar with the impeachment motion that is now before this House?
Yes, I am familiar with the impeachment motion because I voted to impeach and I have been following the proceedings thereafter.
So tell this Honorable House about any encounters that you have had with the governor, and perhaps speak to our relationship with other leaders.
Honorable Chair, as I said earlier, I served in the second assembly as a nominated member, and that is the first time I had an encounter with the governor when she served as the women rep representing Meru, the county MP for Meru. And at that particular time, I was serving as the chair of the Women Caucus in the assembly. So that is the first time I very, very briefly interacted with her when I approached her to be the patron of the Women Caucus in the assembly, which she did not take up. And from that time, I have just known her to be the women rep of Meru County and also now as the governor of the Meru County Assembly.
So are you aware of any pronouncements made by the governor regarding nominated female MCAs?
Honorable Chair, I remember maybe mostly during the campaigns and shortly before the campaigns of 2022, when actually she used to refer to the nominated member as having been elected through the blankets, whatever that meant, but the connotation was that we did not get the nominations because of merit. We had other favors. And Honorable Chair, this was repeated again on the 19th of October when she forcibly came into the assembly, where I witnessed her also again refer to some of the women MCAs and told them to go look for votes, not to always expect to be given seats through, again, the blankets. That is literally to say what she said, but this was not in good connotation, Honorable Chair, and that was actually demeaning the position of the nominated member of County Assembly. Honorable Chair.
Okay, now that you've mentioned the 19th of October, let us go to that date. What happened on that day?
Council, on the 19th of October 2022, we were all the MCAs were in the county, in the premises of the assembly, and we were busy electing chairs of the committees in the chambers. And I remember while we were still there, and actually we were waiting for the governor's address that afternoon, but before then, and while we were still at the chambers electing members in different positions, I heard around the crowd coming into the assembly, and we all rushed out to see what was happening. And only to see that the governor, followed by a crowd of around 40 to 50 people, coming into the presence of the assembly. And actually, even before I could go out completely, I was caught up at the reception. And the governor was there actually coming forcibly, wanting to get into the chambers. And she had all these people around her. And actually, there was quite a lot of commotion caused at that particular time, Honorable Chair.
While you were there, what did you hear the governor say?
She actually came and got past me into the chambers, but then just in time the sergeant at arms closed the doors, and so she had to come back from the chambers, because the arrangement of the chamber is that it is quite behind the main entrance. And from there, when she came back, she found all of us, now everybody was alarmed, and we had all gone out, and most of us were crowding the reception there, and she started actually like exchanging and shouting to the MCAs and asking. I remember I personally asking her, Your Excellency, you don't have to do that. You just need to walk to the speaker's office, and the speaker will gown up and bring you to the chamber, because anyway, we are expecting you. But then she started shouting now to the other ladies, asking them, well, you should go out there and look for votes. You don't always expect to be given seats under the blankets, like Honorable Chair said earlier. And before I realized, she had started walking up the ladder, up the staircase to the speaker's office. And before long, I could hear commotions at the speaker's office. And I heard actually the secretary begin to make noise because I think she was alarmed. Also later I learned that she was alarmed. And the speaker came out. Because the speaker had already gone out, he went up to the chambers, and the speaker gowned up, and the sergeant at arms escorted the governor to the chambers. Shortly before that, the sitting bell had already rung, and we had all gone into the chambers. Honorable Chair.
Yes, we are constrained for time. We only have 5 more minutes to go.
Yeah.
So, what was supposed to happen in the assembly that day, very briefly?
What was supposed to happen, the governor was supposed to give a county address, the opening address.
Did that address happen?
She was escorted to the chambers, and all the preliminaries were done. And when she took to the podium, the MCAs got out of the chambers.
And briefly, what was the governor's reaction to that MCAs walking out?
I may not know the reaction, but I think there was no quorum to address the assembly, and so she was escorted out, where she went to the speaker's office, and shortly after that she came out, got into her car, got up the sunroof of her car, and she went to the gate where she was applauded. She was being applauded by a rounding crowd at the entrance of the county assembly. Honorable Chair.
Now, being a female member of the county assembly of Meru yourself, you must be aware of how many female MCAs are in the county assembly.
Yes, the number of the women MCAs are 23, both elected by universal suffrage, and those that are nominated by political parties.
The governor, in her affidavit by way of response to this impeachment motion, in paragraphs 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, alleges that her impeachment is an issue of gender, or rather she's being targeted because she is a woman. What do you say to that?
Honorable Chair, we cannot, we cannot say that the governor is being embattled because she's a woman. No, otherwise all the 23 women MCAs would not have impeached her. And we cannot reduce the unrest in Meru right now to just the issues of gender. There are serious governance issues that are being raised, and since morning, Honorable Speaker, we've been demonstrating that. And really, this has nothing to do with the fact that the governor is a female. Honorable Chair, there are very serious issues.
2 more minutes.
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chair, we cannot reduce that discussion, that conversation that is really keeping the Meru people awake and that has kept this House, the honorable senators in this chamber since morning, to just the issues of gender. Now, the Meru County Assembly is raising very serious issues of governance, and what we feel is like, personally, I feel like the governor has lacked in the area of using her soft skills to manage the county government. And by soft skills, I mean, Honorable Chair, the lack of proper communication. We have been seeing...
So let me stop you there because you are constrained for time.
Yes.
Which of the 62 specific violations leveled against the governor have been leveled against her for the reason that she is a woman, to the best of your knowledge?
None at all. None at all. We have not been complaining about the governor being a woman, no.
And my last question to you, what latitude does being a woman afford the governor to breach national and county laws or provisions of the Constitution of Kenya?
Honorable Chair, the Constitution of Kenya really doesn't care whether you are a woman or a man when it comes to, doing your functions as the governor at any level, or even as a public officer at any level. The Constitution does not really care whether you are a woman, whether you are a man. You are entrusted by the people of Kenya through the Constitution and other laws to be able to act according to the laws set, regardless of whether you are female or male, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I think that concludes my exam in chief for this witness. Asante sana.
Very good. Yes. Somebody's question?
I didn't want to interfere because of time, and but I just want to caution the council from both sides. When you bring witnesses, they are here to help us with evidence. You have been cautioned time without number on the issue of asking witnesses to give us opinions. You will be disadvantaged. I just wanted to reiterate that, Chair.
Thank you. The Council for Governors, cross-examine, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. Honorable Lucy Mukaria, good evening.
Very good evening, Council.
You have told this honorable committee that the governor has accused female MCAs of being nominated through the blankets.
Yes.
You have.
Council, yes.
That was not an allegation that was brought in the impeachment motion, was it?
No, I was just giving, laying a background of why personally did not go along with her.
Okay. So you voted to impeach the governor because of an allegation that was not contained in the impeachment motion.
No.
But you did not get along with her because of those sentiments.
No, I said, Council, that I did not get along with her because of all the allegations that we have been showcasing throughout the day, Honorable Chair.
You have talked of the events of 19th of October 2022.
Yes.
Confirmed to this committee that indeed that was a gazetted day when the governor was supposed to appear and give a maiden speech to the county assembly.
Yes, it is.
Were you expecting the governor to show up?
Yes, we were expecting him in the afternoon at the 2:30 sitting of the 19th of October.
At what time did the governor enter the county assembly?
Way before 1 p.m., sorry, I repeat, way before 1 p.m., all around 1 p.m. We had not prepared to sit for the 2:30 p.m. sitting.
Let us look at paragraph 9 in your witness statement. You have accused the governor of accosting one Honorable Frida Naito.
Council, through the chair, perhaps you could share with us the page of the document you're referring to so that we can all follow.
Thank you, Honorable Senator for Nairobi. I'm referring to page 9 of volume 5 of the County Assembly's documents. I'm looking at page 5. It is the witness statements contained at volume 5 of the County Assembly's documents. Her statement appears from page 8 all the way to page 13. So I'm referring to paragraph 9 of her statement, which specifically appears at page 10. So on that page, paragraph, you accuse the governor of accosting one Frida Naito, a nominated MCA.
Yes,
correct?
Council.
Again, there has been no allegation in the impeachment motion of the governor accosting any member of County Assembly, specifically Frida Naito.
Yeah, I was narrating the
It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. There is no specific allegation in the impeachment motion where the governor is being accused of accosting any member of the County Assembly.
Yes.
There is none. And the said Frida Naito has not in any way filed an affidavit or a witness statement to that effect that she was ever accosted by the governor.
No, this was my witness statement, so it is me who saw that.
It is you who saw that.
Yes.
But the person who was accosted has not taken time to accuse the governor of that.
Yes. She's not a witness in this case.
You also confirmed that you were not one of the witnesses presented before the County Assembly to support the impeachment motion.
There was no requirement for witness at the Assembly.
You did
and
not.
The answer is no.
The answer is no, thank you. Look at paragraph 10 of your witness statement again. You accuse the governor of scaring off the secretary. You've actually told this committee that you sensed that there was some cause for alarm at the Speaker's office.
Yes.
Again, the impeachment motion did not contain any allegations of the governor ever threatening anyone at the County Assembly, specifically the secretary of the Speaker.
Again, Council, this is my witness that I have sworn under oath. So these are the occurrences that I saw, and so the answer is no.
Has the secretary filed any notice, any affidavit or
not
witness
that
statement?
I am aware of, Council.
Not that you're aware of. You've also claimed that your car...
Order. Order. You've made your point. You've made your point. Take your seat. Council for the County Assembly. Procedure rule number 20. Why have you brought here Mrs. McKenna to speak to a matter that is not in any of the charges? Please, if you have a similar witness coming, serve us the time. We don't want to appear like we are blocking you, but you can see clearly the things she's speaking to are not before this House.
We are guided, Chair, but if you read the impeachment motion, you note that it says the specific matters listed are just illustrative examples of a long-going campaign of vilification and humiliation of other leaders. And if we had sought to prove all of them, we would have brought to you a litany of hundreds of incidents. Our thinking, which we may be right or wrong, was that having clustered the allegations, we only needed to illustrate to you by the examples stated in the motion. But the governor had noticed from the motion itself that the matter, the specific incidents given are expressly indicated as illustrative examples of a long-ranging campaign against other leaders. But I can confirm, Chair, the other witnesses won't even delve in that direction.
Yes, that is a good assurance. Poor us. How do we convince the governor that he's going through a fair process if your witness is giving an account of when the governor was a member of the National Assembly? What has it got to do with these proceedings? Please take your seat, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Chair, maybe to help the council, because the process of removing a governor from office through impeachment, first they go through the motion. After the motion, the assembly forms a committee to investigate all the allegation, to investigate what was illustrative, as he mentioned. So that means that's when those people who have been mentioned should appear or could have appeared before the committee. So the question is, did they? Did Honorable Lucy, and for a moment I thought the Honorable Governor was giving evidence against herself. They somehow look alike. But what I wanted to mention is that did they appear before that committee? If they did not appear before that committee, Chair, then this is a goose chase.
Yeah, he did not. He has even said it from the witness stand. We were just being patient. We don't want to look unfair. So, Madam McKenna, thank you so much for making time to make the presentation you just did. You are now free to step down.
Chair.
From the witness.
Chair.
Honorable Chair.
Just a minute.
Chair.
Just a minute, members. We will hear the council there. Then I'll come and rule.
Chair, please don't release her. There's something I want to.
Yes. Honorable Chair, I also want to make a similar submission that the witness is testifying on the other ground of forcible entry into the assembly. It is not purely the issue of the vilification of nominated MCAs. And to respond to what
you're saying, the next witness.
No, this witness is also if you read a witness statement, it also speaks to the allegation of forcible entry into the assembly. So it is not true that the witness is only testifying about the issue of vilification of nominated MCAs.
Okay,
that is one.
Point is made.
I have a second issue that I want to raise, Honorable Chair. In response to what Senator Karungo Dangwa said, you will note from Standing Order number 65 of the County Assembly of Meru Standing Orders, there is no committee that is formed to investigate or to consider the impeachment motion. So there was no committee before which all these witnesses could appear before to investigate the impeachment motion. That is not the procedure. The procedure is that once the motion is tabled, it undergoes public participation, and finally the House in plenary considers the impeachment motion. There is no committee at any stage whatsoever.
Thank you. So going forward, let me help you. When the County Assembly of Meru is sitting in plenary, it's a committee. It's called the Committee of the Whole. So that is the committee to which this witness would have appeared. To be fair to both of you, she did not appear before the Committee of the Whole. Yeah. Yes, Edwin?
Chair, with due respect, you know, she is a member of that committee that you're talking about. It would be tough for her to appear before herself. But the guidance I wanted to give the committee, we are already at an advanced stage with her. The cross-examination was just about to end. I don't think that, yes, just a minute, Chair. We as a committee will determine the value of the testimony that he has given. But at the stage at which we have reached, I think it's only fair that if he has concluded, you allow counsel to re-examine. Then, Chair, we have a few questions we will pose to her. One each, not too long.
Counsel, are you concluding?
I have two more questions, Honorable Chair. One is that...
you have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. Were you present when the governor sought to address the County Assembly on the 18th of October? Were you present at the chambers?
On the 18th
Yes,
of October?
On the 19th, sorry. 19th of October.
I was present at the assembly, yes.
You were?
Yes.
So you were part of the team that walked out on the governor, protesting?
Yes, I walked out.
You walked out?
Yes.
So you were protesting against the governor. Have you brought any evidence as to why the MCAs were protesting against the governor?
Come again with that question.
Have you produced any evidence of your grievances that caused you to walk out on the governor?
I must say that that was spontaneous. It wasn't planned at all. When the governor walked into the precinct of the assemblies forcibly and there was all this commotion around that, the reaction was we just could not continue with that. We could not pretend that all is well and just wait there. And I think for me, that's what I felt like, oh, I don't think I need to be here. So yes, I walked out.
Are you aware that the previous day, the Speaker of Meru County Assembly and other members of County Assembly had threatened not to listen to the governor unless she addresses the issue of the ward fund?
Nothing about the ward fund, but I think when the Speaker told us at Kamukunji that the governor has not been picking his calls and that he has really tried to get the attention of the governor. And I think again, the governor was to address the assembly the following day, and this is now, we have waited for more than 2 weeks for the governor to have a conversation with us, and he was not able to do that. She was not able to do that, and the Speaker had reached out to her several times, and when the Speaker, so frustrated, told us the governor is not picking her calls, and whenever he goes to the office, he was not meeting her there. I think again, spontaneously, people lost it and went out, singing. It was evident that we did that.
So there was a Kamukunji to discuss the governor's maiden speech and to discuss whether she should be allowed to deliver that speech or not.
The Kamukunji was not about that. We were also concerned that the governor is coming to address us, and we have been asking her to, plan what is it that we want to, do as both arms of the government. And she had promised to come and talk to us. We were, we wanted to discuss with her. It is only fair that when you are leading an institution like a county, you will sit together with the other leaders to discuss issues moving forward on how you want to govern together. in unity and collaboration. But when that failed to happen, then I think spontaneously again we went out. That's the time Kenyans saw us going out singing. But again, we had no idea of what she was coming to discuss in the assembly, so we could not sit to discuss or preempt whatever she was coming to say.
Thank you. So you did not know what the governor was coming to present
No,
through her
we did not.
maiden speech?
Yes.
You would have wished the governor to discuss the content of her speech before it was presented. That is what you're saying in the committee.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But you were not aware of the content, therefore you would not allow her a chance to deliver that speech. That's what you've just said.
No, I said it was spontaneous. Nobody had planned to preempt what the governor was coming to say.
Final question.
Yes, sir.
You say that the speaker called for that Kamkunji to discuss that issue. Does the speaker speak for elected members of county assembly?
The speaker convenes. I think it's a practice in parliament that a speaker would always convene people together. It's normally called the speaker's Kamkunji to discuss emerging issues. And so that's exactly what was happening. No pre-plan.
Did anyone petition the speaker to call for that Kamkunji on the emerging issues, as you call them?
I am not in the leadership, but I think there was this pressure to really sit and discuss things.
That is all for this witness, Honorable Chair.
Tobiko.
Thank you, Chair.
With Glovo, you have anything you want from your city in your hands. Kama unatamani ugali beef ama fried chicken, order Glovo ujaribu restaurant mpya. Tamu. Kama game inawaka na unataka drinks zaidi, order Glovo ushangilie timu yako. Na kama your little one amemes na diaper zimeisha, order Glovo and save the day. With Glovo, unaweza track order yako na kuongea na customer support, which is always available. Download the app and order anything you want from your city. We'll deliver.
Usalama barabarani ni jukumu letu sote. Usiwaletee wanaokupenda majonzi bila sababu. Uwe dereva au uwe unatembea barabarani kwa miguu, fuata sheria zote za barabarani ili kujiepusha na ajali. Usalama barabarani unaanza na wewe. Ujumbe huu unaletwa kwako na Kenya National Highways Authority. Quality Highways, better connections.